Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GWE100. It's the tier 10 German SPG located on the north spawn of Steppes. This one is under the command of randyxx777, and he's been waiting for this replay, well, not a long time, but he kept asking where it was. Well, here it is now. Game on. Well, it's actually a series of 4 replays, but they're in 2 videos. You can see he's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his GWE100. Devised basically, or supposed to be, built from an E100 tank. This Arty is a piece of fiction, actually, because Wargaming just came up with it for the German tier 10, which is a bit of a pity, really. But anyway, it's still a good Arty in the game. 21cm howitzer, capable of doing 900 alpha, 53mm of pen. Now, he was watching a Jaeger there, and oh dear, he's firing and then looking away straight away. Now, admittedly, he is trying to move to avoid counter battery because, of course, he's changed direction and finding a new firing position. But you know what we say, if you look away, then there won't be a video. Okay, well, the next target he's going for is a UDAS 1516 and an AE phase 1. He fires the round in. Now, this time we do get to see it, and it's important because look at that, a penetrating shot from the UDAS. Very thin armor. 883 is a low roll, but look at that, he's picked up stun assist straight away afterwards. So that was an important shot, a good shot. And again, changing position, which is good discipline. Don't have to stay in the same spot. Oh, T95 and an E100. Okay, let's see which he goes for. Well, he goes for the E100. And he gets another direct hit, but it's on the frontal armor. 158 from that one. Oh, he's picked up some stun assist as well. Well, that just makes it all the more worthwhile. Okay, back to the aim. You can see he knows the technique to actually go straight to the target. Doesn't have to sit around scrolling. Another direct hit. 359 on the AE phase 1. So he is getting damage on the enemy. The trouble is that his team are not. They're 4,000 hit points behind at the moment. Although the scores are still even, the hit points are not. And it seems to me that it's Randy who's actually doing most of the work on this occasion, because he's actually definitely getting really good damage on the enemy. And his team are not. They are absolutely being hammered. Okay, rounds out. Looks good. Lands short on the ridgeline. 225. Very difficult on that ridgeline. And we've got an EBR 105 making a quick scouting run in the field directly in front of our guys. And it looks like our guys haven't really dispersed evenly as well. We've got over heavy on this side of the map, which is why Randy has actually decided to come over this side of the map rather than be on the other side. Okay, T57 heavy. Now, this will be a very difficult shot. He's trying to dial in, rounds out. Oh, he pulled forward, and he only got some stun off that one. It was a difficult shot. There was a gap there that he could fire through, but it looks like the T57 driver decided that, no, he wasn't going to go that far back. And the enemy is now starting to make ingrounds on the east side of the map. They're pushing. There's that T57 heavy and a Conqueror, both going different ways around the rock. Rounds out the Conqueror. Direct hit again, 352. That's a good strike. His teammates are falling back, and now he's being pushed into the corner as well. So it looks like the team are not doing well at all. In fact, they're now nearly 7,000 hit points down. Well, it is 7,000 now. 7,000 hit points down on the enemy. That's basically about 3 tanks worth. Another direct hit right on the target on the Conqueror, 359 this time. It can be terribly frustrating for an Arty player when you know you're doing the job and you are getting huge hits on the enemy, striking them, but your teammates are not striking the stunned targets. It's not just that. He's doing all the work. He's doing all the heavy lifting, but his teammates just aren't doing anything in return. So we're up to 3,000 combined damage already. Well over 3,000 actually. Closer to coming up to 4,000 damage. That Conqueror is now one shot. And that T-57 Heavy's in the other pass. Can't see him, but he is there. And the EBR's coming in to make another quick run. I don't think he'll try and get to us. No, he's using that rock to spot on us. In fact, that's a T-54. There's the EBR. We're now 2 tanks down on the enemy. And 8,000 hit points down on the enemy. It really is getting quite serious. Most of our tanks are so exhausted that they're just basically collapsing. Now we're 2 tanks down, 3 tanks down. Well, Randy might be able to get a kill shot on this Conqueror. Lines up the shot, rounds out, and yes, he does. That's his first kill. And surprisingly, it's only the 3rd kill by his team. So 3 tanks down. The side's weakening on this side of the map now as well. It looks like the Striv is probably the only tank on our side that's actually holding back the tanks on the east side of the map. Okay, A phase 1. Rounds out. Went long. That's the first shot where things have gone pear-shaped. It went long on the A phase 1. Well behind him. The A phase 1's tracked at the moment anyway. And now we've got, our E5's in trouble because he's got an E900 just in front of him and there's a wreck that's protecting the E900. Now, if we fire in there, we do fire in, and he does get some hit points off the E900, but we lose our teammate in the E5. So now we're still 3 tanks down, and it's still Randy who's doing most of the work. So, standard reload for this RT, 37.39 seconds. And the reload time that Randy's got is 28.85. Rounds out. Direct hit again. A phase 1 takes it. 301 hit points. Hit the rear of the vehicle. But the A phase 1 takes down our 50 TP. And now we're 5 tanks down on the enemy. So it is the rest of the team that is basically just collapsing. There's only a 3,000 hit points difference though. So it looks like some of the team have been picking up the load and trying to help, but we're 5 tanks down, which means we're 6 tanks down, so that's 6 guns down, and that was a direct hit on the T-57 Heavy. He was in the bush. We saw the tracer disappear without an explosion, so it hit something, and the T-57 Heavy is the tank that's around that side. Now we've got a Jaeger coming in. And the A phase 1 on the enemy team's just the other side of the railway line. And Randy's probably going to get spotted. And as soon as he is spotted, the enemy RT... Oh, he has been spotted. Now, enemy RT will come into play here. And, yes, enemy RT will more than likely try and end Randy's life as quickly as he can. Randy gets one chance. Goes for the T-57, splashes him. But I'm expecting the RT round to come in any second. He's loading. The enemy is a Conqueror gun carriage, by the way. Our Object 140 is doing a valiant job trying to... And he does kill the A phase 1 for us. Unfortunately, we've just lost an M46 Patton, and now we're aiming for the T-57 Heavy again. Looks like he's pretty battered. Rounds out. Direct hit right in his side for 402. So now we've got nearly... Well, it is 5,000 hit points combined damage. And we're the last one alive on our team. He's raised his gun because he's reloading. There's nothing he can do except try and ram, and he's out the game. The E900 gets him in the end. Well, it very much appears that Randy turned up for the battle and the rest of his team really didn't. So, unfortunately, yeah, this one was a defeat, but he went down fighting as hard as he could. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He got 9. And his win 8 from this game, 3,548. So you can't fault him for damage. He certainly was doing a lot. And yes, let's have a look at the rest of the team results. Yes, he got the highest damage on his team. Not the highest damage overall, though. The highest damage overall went to a Hobry 3, who actually picked up a high caliber in a tier 10 game, a 6,336 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the AE Phase 1 on the enemy team, but 4,280 went to him, and he picked up a Confederate. And get this, the third highest damage in the game was Randy. Yes, Randy XXX777. 3,977 hit points of actual damage in the game. A huge amount. Yes, it was those blind shots, actually. We weren't showing on the screen because, of course, they don't show until the end of the game. But you can see how much effort he was putting into this game, because to get the third highest damage, yeah, he was working very, very hard indeed. I should say, though, the next highest damage was the E5 on his team there. So, well, after these guys, there was a T57 heavy on the enemy team who did get a lot of hit points. But anyway, so let's have a look at kills. Well, the highest number of kills was shared between the Strip 103B on our team and also the E100, the tank that actually killed Randy in the end. They both got 3 kills apiece, and it was the Strib that was holding off the enemy team for so long by going up into the heights and sniping at the enemy every time they poked their noses up. So that's why he got the highest number of kills and shared it with the E100. In second place, joint second place, we got the UDAS 1516, the Object 140, and the Conqueror on the enemy team. And Randy's in joint third place with the others because he got 1 kill as well. Of course, that was the Conqueror. When it came to base XP, it's the other team, yes, because the AE Phase 1 managed 1,190, the only player over 1,000 base. 942 went to the Hobry 3, and 888 went to the Conqueror. We can see Randy picked up 340, just behind the Striv, of course, in that sniping position. Randy fired 16 rounds in the game. You don't get a whole lot of ammunition, but it's enough for the game. 30 rounds of ammunition in a GWE 900. 10 direct hits on the enemy. 1 penetrating shot, the UDES. 16 splash. Damage of 3,977 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy. Both were penetrations, of course, because the E900, unlike its heavy tank derivative, or the one that it came from, actually does have fairly lightish armor, so to speak, or that's the way Wargaming have imagined it. Actually, the frontal armor on the vehicle is only 80 millimeters, whereas the frontal armor on an E900 is a lot more. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, 431 hit points of damage assistance, and 903 hit points of stun assist off 16 stuns. So you can see again, you see his teammates just weren't shooting the tanks that he was stunning. He caused a huge amount of stuns, but very, very little stun assist. Now, if that had been a little bit higher on the stun assist, I think he would have got a mastery ranking on this game. Now, he only earned 37,415 for the battle, and he came out with a loss of 41,630 on a free account. I think mostly down to consumables and ammunition, and of course you have to repair the vehicle. 5 bonds for it being tier 10 and 340 XP. So not a great result in terms of his team, but a very good result for Randy because he kept the pressure up as much as he could. And that shows in the end of battle results, the fact that he was scoring similar performance scores to his teammates, or to the enemy team, in terms of the amount of damage he was doing. If we look at the enemy Arty, you can see he only did 1,370. Whereas Randy, 3,977, completely different story. Randy was showing his skill, and he was the best player on his team by far for the amount of damage he was putting out. So, yeah, first battle is a defeat, but that's what happens when your teammate just don't turn up, or at least basically don't actually try to fight as hard as they could. Let's have a look at the second replay that he sent in to match this one. In the second replay, Randy is now on the north spawn of Abbey. Okay. Trying to make up his mind which way to go, actually. It can be difficult, actually. There's loads of firing positions. Lots of players do go to the same ones each time, which does make them vulnerable, because if the enemy player knows that he does go to a specific place every time to shoot, then yes, you could be taken out fairly easily with a counter battery. Now, he did knock 2 trees over there. Hopefully that won't get noticed by the enemy Arty. In fact, there are 2 enemy Artys in this game, a Batchat 155-58 and an Object 261. He's fired around in at the Jaegeru, but because it was so quick and wasn't fully dialed in, he only got it close enough to get stunned, but he did get some stun assist, and he's got some more because, yes, shots are going in on that Jaegeru. So he's picked up 628 stun assist off that one shot alone, so it was worthwhile. Okay, he's aiming for the back for that Object 140, supporting those guys who push forward, and just got a tiny bit of splash. We can see where one of the enemy Arty is, because they've just suddenly made their presence known, that they're at the other end of the river road. As I said, the enemy Arty, a Batchat 155-58 and an Object 261. It's tier 10 game only. And this is going quite well so far, because we've got 2 enemy tanks down and we've advanced quite a long way forward. That shell unfortunately didn't do any good, but we can see now that the enemy Arty that was down the end of the road was a Batchat 155-58, and he's running for his life because he got spotted. Luckily for him, he is a relatively fast Arty, and our friend on this game, of course, is an Object 261 on our team, and he did try to get the Batchat, but just didn't aim far enough forward. Striv rounds out. Oh, he backed into that one. 230 hit points of splash, but he gets rid of the stun straight away, which kind of stops us from getting any advantage. And that Striv will hold up any movement down the river road for a little while, that and the Foch. So it might be a good idea for Randy to focus on this corner, because there's 2 enemy tanks there, and of course that Striv. He's going for the 140. Direct hit, I think. Oh no, direct hit, so it was right next door to him. But it was a big hit. 425 hit points. And there's another one coming in from the 261, so we did pick up some stun assist. Unfortunately, we've lost a Foch. The Foch went down, the Foch B was taken out by their Foch 155. As far as we know, that Strib's still up there. But we're going to try and hit the Foch if we can. Rounds out, probably be a splash. Oh, direct hit! Just goes to show I'm getting wrong results. Well, that was a good shot, and the Strib pulled back, and that may be the reason why our guys moved up that easily. But that Strib's still there. He's a splash kill, and he's gone. So there's just the 140. The 140 went down. A Waffenträger auf E100 managed to get the kill. Just goes to show how powerful those waffle tractors really are. That guy took down 2 tanks in a row. And it's a Super Conquer, takes a splash, 41. Now the enemy is actually fairly close to us, but we do have enough players around us, or around that corner, to make it fail for them. He's trying to tell these guys, let these guys push forward. Okay, we're loaded. Super Conk, he decides not to shoot because he can't see where the Super Conk's gone. There he is. So he was in the same place. Okay. Still not fired. Waiting. Fires the round in. Direct hit. 279. Now he could have actually loaded the armor-piercing round that he's actually got there to try and shoot through the side of the Conqueror, but the Conqueror is now getting unloaded on by the Foch, and yes, he's being stripped of hit points. And there you go, he's gone. There's only 4 enemies left. One of them's an Arty. The 261 still in the game, but there's very few of them left. There's the 140 holding up the tanks on the River Road side. Rounds out. That must have been near to the 140. Now, Randy doesn't have as much damage in this game as he does in the previous games, or previous game. Mainly down to the fact that his team have actually turned up to fight. Okay, we lost the TVP, but we still got the Waffenträger auf E100 in the game, and there's their 140. Rounds out. And that was close. Yes, the 140, and he's gone. And we got the stun assist off that one. Okay, there's the other 140. Only 3 tanks left on the enemy team, but one of them's a Jaegeru. Going for the 140. Rounds out. He fires ahead of its path. Got some stun, and the 140 appears to dive into the water. The enemy E100, Jaegeru rather, has just gone. There's the 140. He didn't go in, actually, or just managed to get out. The 261's down, and that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle results, and that was the second-class tanker for Randy XXX777 in the GWE100. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9 in this one. And he also got a win rate of 1,537. That's mainly down to the fact his teammates were very, very good and made a big change from the previous battle where they absolutely basically collapsed over the course of the battle. Let's have a look at team score. Well, nowhere near the highest damage in this one because that went to the Waffle Tractor, the Waffenträger auf E100, who managed to get, in this game, a Top Gun for 5,231 hit points. Wasn't enough for a high caliber 20% of the enemy hit pool. When it came to the second highest damage, that went to the Jaegeru on our team with 3,505. And third highest damage in the game went to the Foshby on the enemy team with 3,278. We can see Randy managed to get 1,994 hit points of damage, which puts him kind of mid-table. When it came to kills, it was the Waffle Tractor again. 7 kills for him, just 1 short of getting a Radley's. 3 kills went to the Foshby on our own team, the Foshby on the enemy team, and their Jaegeru. And when it came to Randy, he didn't get any kills at all in this game. Didn't get the chance. But when it came to the base XP, he's a lot higher up the table because he's actually in 5th place overall, just behind the Foshby with 798. The high score was the Waffle Tractor again. 1,125 went to him, the only player over 1,000 base, with the T57 Heavy behind him at 880 and the TVP T5051 at 856. We see Randy fired 11 shots, far less than the previous battle, but then obviously that was, he was working hard and firing as many rounds in as he could in that one. In this one, he was having to pick his targets because his teammates were just dissolving them one by one. 2 direct hits, no penetrations, but 12 splash. Damage of 1,994, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 80 the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get 3,129 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. So at least this time, he was getting stun assist. And you can see combined damage was just under 5,000. Well, yes, just over 5,000 combined. So at last, they were actually allowing him to get some stun assist in the game, which is why he got a second class. On a free player count, he actually made a small loss to the game, 1,442 credits, but that's mainly down to the consumables. And he got 5 bonds for being tier 10 and 796 XP. So a better result in many ways from the fact that you did actually get a victory. But you can see that Randy was working really, really hard in that first game to get the result that he did. And he was shining because he got the highest damage in his team overall. So, yes, 2 interesting battles. But as I said, there's 4 replays that he sent in. And this is where I'd actually just send a message to Randy. Do be aware, I get literally hundreds of replays. and I've got over 2,000, nearly 3,000 replays waiting to be done, which are from previous clients, which I've never been able to complete, even though they are still there in the list. When I try to get the videos done, I try to include as many recent battles as I can, but that's not always possible, especially if you get more than one replay sent in at any one time. Some people have a habit of sending in, say, 7 or 8 replays at the same time. It's just not possible to get them all done. If I'm going to be fair to everyone, I have to try and do them in such an order so that we can keep frequent recent battles, but also not to monopolize the channel by just one player. So if you send in a replay, it might be a little while or it might be a long time, depending on how many replays you send in. And the other thing is, don't ever ask where your replay is, where your video is, because that's rather rude to those people who have been waiting longer. And so I have a general rule: if somebody does ask for a replay, where's my replay? Why haven't I seen my video? I put those replays to the back of the queue. So they're the last ones to get done. And that's one of the reasons why you've been waiting so long to see these replays, down to the fact that you kept asking, where's my replay? And saying that there were worse replays in the queue, or worse replays turning up on the channel than the ones you sent in. Yeah, that's kind of rude to the people who actually did send those replays in that you said were worse than yours. So, yeah, please be aware that try and be kind to the people who are sending in other replays. And also, don't ask where your one is. Just be grateful that you are getting a replay done, because many people send in hundreds, if not thousands, of replays to people like Jingles or Quickie Baby, and they never do them. They never do them. They never get any response either. Because, I mean, I've sent in replays to Jingles, said, oh, this one might be useful for you for your channel, and he's totally ignored me. But then Jingles would ignore me for the very reason that obviously I don't actually have very good relations with him anymore, after he actually used 3 videos, which I did, and then he went and copied those videos, or rather did them himself, using the same replay, because the replays have been sent to him separately by those people. Those people got their replay up on our channel before they appeared on Jingles' channel, but when they did appear on Jingles' channel much later on, of course, Jingles got much more out of those replays than we did, and we didn't get any recognition for the fact that we got those videos up first on our channel. Anyway, there you go. There is going to be another video coming out soon featuring randyxx777. Please don't ask when replays are coming. They come when they come, and it's as simple as that. And if you keep demanding, where's my replay? Remember, it will be at the back of the queue. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.